Good morning. Last class we saw about swapping. So what do you mean by swapping? To get a process in main memory for execution, we'll be performing swapping. That is a process from a main memory will be swapped out, and the process which needs execution will be swapped in for execution. Okay, that is a concept of swapping. And we saw the some disadvantage of swapping. Due to that, total transfer time is somewhat longer because we want to transfer two processes. Swapping is generally preferred in modern system. That is, it will be disabled. It will be enabled only when the threshold, uh, only when the threshold goes above. Okay, and then we saw about memory management techniques. We saw two types of memory management technique. One is non-contiguous, another one is contiguous memory management. In contiguous memory management technique, we saw fixed partition scheme and multi-partition scheme in last class, and we started about segmentation. Segmentation belongs to non-contiguous memory allocation. Okay, here in segmentation, the logical address will consist of two tuple, that is segment, number and offset. See, in the previous case and all, we saw using address translation scheme. That is a logical address will be generated by the CPU, and that logical address will be checked with the limit register, and that value, if it is less than the limit register, means it will be added to the base register, and finally we'll be obtaining the physical address. In the previous case we saw like that. Okay, that is a general case which is used for contiguous memory allocation. For non-contiguous memory allocation, that too for segmentation, our logical address will have segment number. Okay, logical address is nothing but the address generated by the CPU. This logical address will have the segment number and the offset. Okay. So in this concept of segmentation, the whole memory will be separated into several segments. That is, in user point of view, if you see, means there is all the functions and stack and the variables, all those will be grouped into several segments. Okay, and each and every segment will be given a number. So the segment number and the offset value. For example, you are having a segment, means that segment may start from location 100 to 150. Okay. So that 100 and 150, I am saying it as the memory address. Segment address of the first segment starts from 100 to 150. For example, I am saying, then if you want to access the fourth element in the segment, okay, starting address is 100. I want to access the fourth element. So in that offset value will be giving 4. Okay. Then only that 100 plus 4, 104. That element will be accessed. Okay. Likewise, we'll be giving the offset value. For easy understanding, we will see how this segment logical address is converted into physical address using the segmentation hardware architecture provided in this slide number 3. See here, from the CPU, we are generating logical address. Okay, the logical address, the S denotes segment number and D denotes offset. Okay, the S is the segment number and D is the offset. First, in the logical address, which segment it is. For each and every segment, we'll be having a segment table. Okay, that segment table only will be having, for this first segment, what is the base register content, what is the limit register content. So what do you mean by base register? Base register holds the starting address. In segmentation, base register holds the starting address of that particular segment. Limit register holds the length of that segment. Okay. So for a particular segment, you need to know what is a base register and limit register. So all the details of all the segments, if you are having 10 segment means the base register and the limit register of those 10 segments will be available in a segment table. Okay. Likewise, we'll be having a segment table which holds the base register and limit register of a particular segment. See, in this case, from the CPU, logical address is generated. In segmentation, we are having two tuples. That is segment number S and D is the offset. S denotes the segment number, D denotes the offset. So while seeing that segment number, it will be checking what is the base register content and limit register content of this particular segment. For example, here I have taken first segment. The value of S is 1 means, so we have to look into the first segment. What is the base register content and limit register content? So it will be searching where this first segment is in the segment table. Okay. So once the segment number 1 is found on the segment table, that corresponding base register and limit register will be found. So with that offset value, we'll be checking. D is the offset value. Here I have considered the offset value to be 4. Okay. So if 4 is the offset value means, and the limit register value is, see here for the segment, I have considered the starting address, that is the base register content as 100 and the ending address is 150. Limit register represents the length of the segment. So 100 to 150, 50 is the length of the segment. So it will be the value of the limit register. Okay, in the limit register, we'll be having the value 50. So this generated offset value, say D. So D here we have considered as 4. Okay. This 4 will be checked with this limit register content. That is, this 4 is less than 50 or not. Okay. If it is less than 50 only, it can calculate the physical address. Else, it results in addressing error because the first segment capacity is starts from 100 to 150. But if it exceeds 50, for example, the offset is 55 means it is not less than the limit register content. So it leads to an addressing error. That is, this offset doesn't lie within the particular segment, say segment number 1. Okay. Like this, we are going to compare the values. So first, so I will take the positive case. That is, I am considering the offset as 4 itself. So offset value is 4. It is compared with the limit register content, say 50. So 4 is less than 50. So the condition satisfies. Then what happens? The condition is yes means the base register value will be added to that offset value. What is the base register content? 100. Because for this particular segment, the starting address is 100. So the base register content is also 100. Okay. So the base register value is 100 is added to the offset value 4. So 100 plus 4 is equal to 104. So this is the newly generated physical address. So this physical address will be looked into the memory. Okay. Thus in this segmentation we'll be generating the logical address to physical address. Okay. So I'm repeating again for easy understanding. Here in segmentation, in the logical address, we'll be having the segment number and offset. The segment number is denoted by S and the offset is denoted by D. So yes. So once we have obtained the segment number, we'll be searching in the segment table where this segment number is lying. Likewise, we'll be searching. So what will be in the segment table? Segment table holds the base register and limit register content of all the segments. Okay, having n number of segment means for all those n number of segment, what is the base register content and limit register content, all those will be held in the segment table. So here I have considered the example. The segment number is 1. So it will be searching where the segment number 1 is lying. So once that segment number 1 is founded, the corresponding limit and base register will be utilized. And then this offset value D will be compared with the limit register content. So this offset value is checked whether is it less than the limit register content or not. If it is less than the limit register content only, it will be going for the next stage. Okay, for example, here I have considered the offset value content as 4. So in this case, the limit register content is 50 because we have considered the segment 1 from 100 to 150. Okay. So the limit register denotes the length of that particular segment. So from 100 to 150, the length of that segment is 50. So the limit register content is 50. So the offset 4 is less than the limit register value 50. The condition satisfies. So the next step, we are adding this offset value 4 to the base register content. What is the base register content? 100. So this 100 plus 4 is added and we are obtaining the physical address. And that physical address will be looked into the physical memory. For example, if the offset value is 55, then this 55 will be checked with the limit register. 55 less than 50, the condition fails. So in this case, a trap will be generated. Trap is nothing but a software interrupt. This trap indicates that there is an addressing error. We are using this interrupt and all to denote that there is some erroneous operation. Okay, for that only this trap will be generated. This is how in segmentation the generated physical address will be converted, generated logical address will be converted into the physical address. Okay. So here the segment table holds the base register and limit register content of all the segment, and one more, we are having some registers, segment table base register. So this segment table base register is nothing but a register which points to the segment table's location in the memory. That is, the segment table will also be residing in some part of the memory. We need to find where the segment table is. Okay. So the location of that segment table will be stored in segment table base register. Okay. So the location of the segment table will be stored in segment table base register. So segment table length register also we are having. The segment table length register holds the content that indicates that number of segments is used by the program. See, in segmentation we have seen that a program will be divided into several segments. So we have to say how many segments are there in that program. Okay, that number of segments in a particular program is given in the register segment table length register. Okay. So for example, if you are generating a segment number, see in segmentation, the logical address includes segment number and offset. That segment number is S, is denoted by S. So this segment number generated should be less than this segment table register. Okay, because the segment table length register holds a number of segments. For example, I'm having 10 segments in a particular program. If the generated segment is 5, means we'll be checking the condition 5 less than 10. The condition satisfies, so it can access the program's data. If the generated segment number is 12, means the condition will be checked 12 less than this 10 or not, the condition falls. So in the particular program there is no such segment number 12 available. Likewise, we'll be checking the segment number with the segment table length register. Okay. So this is what segmentation. So in segmentation, the whole program is divided into segments. That is, the functions and all will come under one segment, the stack and all will come under one segment, and the main function will go under a segment. Likewise, we'll be having several segments in a particular program. Okay. So, in this case, we are seeing from user point of view. So, we have to group all those segments based upon its similarity. Okay, so it is some tedious process in OS point of view, because the programmer knows, but the OS need to separate what are the segments belonging to this particular function, what are the segments belonging to this. Likewise, it is somewhat tedious for operating system. So only we are going for another system known as paging. This paging is also a non-contiguous memory management technique. Okay, here also we'll be seeing there is a program will be divided into pages. Okay, that is in previous case segmentation based upon its similarity. There is a main function will be in one segment, and and another function will be in segment, and stack will be a segment. In paging concept, the whole program will be divided into pages based upon the lines. Okay, so we are having a program. That program will be divided into several pages. Okay, it is similar to we are having a book. In the book, we may have some 10 chapters. So the 10 chapters we may have. Okay, likewise, a complete program is divided into 10 pages. Likewise, we'll be dividing the whole memory of the program into some sections. Okay, so these part of the program may be stored in non-contiguous part. So here in segmentation or paging, the memory of the program need not to be allocated in a continuous fashion. It can be one segment can be in one part, or one page can be in one part of the memory, and another page can be in another part of the memory. Likewise, we can have it in the segmentation and paging. Okay, this paging is used because it avoids external fragmentation concept. Oh, so what do you mean by external fragmentation? When does this external fragmentation occurs? See, in a memory, we are having some broken piece of available memory. Okay. If a request to say, a process of request to say 100 MB is requesting, sorry, 100 kilobyte is requesting the main memory. This 100 kilobyte is available in that main memory, but it's broken into several pieces. It is not in a continuous location. So that if you are using this paging concept, in this paging concept, the process, for example, the process P1 of 100 KB may be divided into 10 pages, each of 10 KB. Likewise, will be having. Okay, so it will be easier for allocating the process memory in different broken pieces of memory in main memory. Okay. For example, this process P1 of size 100 kilobyte may be divided into 10 pages. Each page is of size 10 kilobyte. So, in the main memory, if you are having some broken pieces, that is the available memory is not continuous. So, we can allocate the process P1 in the form of pages. So one page of the process P1 may be in one location. Another page of the process P1 may be in another location. Likewise, we'll be having. Okay. Thus only we are avoiding this external fragmentation problem in this memory management technique. Okay. This also avoids problem of varying sized memory chunks. Okay. That is the memory size which is provided will be of variable sizes. So this variable size problem will also be avoided, because here we are having pages. For example, one broken piece of memory can be of 20K. So in that 20K, 2 pages can be allocated. There is a page 1 of 10 kilobyte and page 2 of 10 kilobyte may be allocated. In some other broken piece in the main memory, we may have 30 KB. So in that 30 KB, 3 pages may be allocated. Likewise, this varying size. So broken pieces won't be of uniform size. One will be in 20 KB, another will be in 30 KB. Okay. So that broken pieces may be allocated with different pages. So in this paging concept, so in segmentation concept, we have divided the whole program into segments. So in this paging concept, that physical memory is divided into fixed size blocks that is known as frames. Okay. Here in this paging concept, see, I will say with an example here. See in this slide number 7, you can see there we are having in the right side we are having a physical memory. That physical memory, we are having several sections. Okay, all these section of memory are of uniform size. Here in this physical memory, we are having 8 section of memory. That each section of memory is known as frames. That is, the frame number starts from 0, 1, 2, 3 up to 7. We are having several frames in the physical memory. Okay. See, in the logical memory, which is provided in the left side, the logical memory will be divided into pages. Here in this logical memory, we are having these pages and frames and all is nothing but a division of memory. That the whole physical memory or the whole logical memory is divided into fixed size. In physical memory, we are naming it as frame. The fixed size partition is named as frame in physical memory. In logical memory, the fixed size memory partition is named as pages. Okay. So this logical address is generated by CPU. This physical address is the address seen by the memory unit. Okay. So in logical memory, in this case, here we are having 4 pages. That is from page 0, page 1, page 2 and page 3. Okay. Likewise, we are having. So in this paging concept, we'll be dividing the physical memory into several frames of fixed size. In logical memory, it will be divided into several pages of fixed size. Okay. The previous case, that is in segmentation, that program is divided into segments. Okay, like that only we saw. But in paging, both the physical memory and the logical memory is divided into frames or pages. Okay. So we are dividing the physical memory into fixed size block called frames. And we are dividing the logical memory into blocks of same size, that's called pages. Okay. So in this paging concept, we have to keep track of all the free frames. So the physical memory is the real memory which we are seeing. Okay. See, in this slide number 7, I have shown the same example. In this case, the physical memory, that ash color shaded region, page 0, page 2, page 1, page 3 is the occupied memory partition. So the blue color region or the free available partition. So for allocating a memory in this partition, we have to know what are the free frames. So we have to know what are the free frames. So if a data needs to come into the physical memory, then it will be occupied in that free frame only. So we have to keep track of the free frames in this paging concept. What are the frames are free in this physical memory, so that a new process pages may be allocated. Likewise, we need to keep track of all the free frames in the physical memory. Next, so for example, to run a program having n pages, we need to have n free frames. Then only we can load the whole program into the memory. Okay. For running a program of n pages, we need to have n free frames. Okay. For this also we are having a page table. In segmentation we saw segment table. That segment table holds the base register and limit register of all the segments in a particular program. This page table will help for translating the logical address to physical address. We will see how this page table helps in translating this logical address into physical address. In this slide number 7, see, in logical memory, we are having a process. Okay, this process we are having 4 pages. Okay, I'm considering like this. So the 4 pages is page 0, page 1, page 2, page 3. In physical memory, the the total frame is 8. That is frame 0 to frame 7. Okay. So in between we are having a page table. See, the number outside this page table 0, 1, 2, 3. So for this particular process has 4 pages. So the page table will also be 4 index. Okay, so only we are having 0, 1, 2, 3. This page table only says where this page 0 is available in the physical memory. See, in the page table outside we are having 0, corresponding near to the 0 we are having 1. This 1 represent this page 0 is available in the frame 1 of the physical memory. See, in the physical memory, in the frame 1, we are having page 0. Okay. In the page table, if you see the next page, that is in the outside, we are having 1. Near to that 1, this 4 represent the page 1 is available in the frame 4. See, in the physical memory, in the frame 4, we are having this page 1. Okay. And coming back to this page table, in this page table, outside we are having 2. That 2 denotes page 2. Near to that, we are having a number 3. So this page 2 is available in the frame 3 in the physical memory. See, in the physical memory, in the frame 3, we are having page 2. Next, coming back to the page table, in the page 3, I am having near to that page 3, I am having 7. So this page 3 is available in the frame 7 of the physical memory. Okay. So see, in the physical memory, in the frame number 7, I am having this page 3. Likewise, this page table is used for mapping the logical memory to the physical memory. Okay. That is what the pages, the page 0 வந்து physical memory ல எந்த frame ல இருக்கு. The page 1 physical memory ல எந்த frame ல இருக்கு. So அதெல்லாம் சொல்றது யாரு? இந்த page table. So that we need this page table for mapping the logical address to the physical address. I hope now you'll be somewhat clear about this logical memory divided into pages and physical memory divided into frames, and in between we are having page table. This page table is used for mapping the logical address to the physical address. Okay. So all these we saw in main memory. Okay. This physical memory we have seen as main memory. Similar to the main memory, our backing store, that is the disk storage. The secondary storage device will also be divided into pages. Okay. But still we'll be having the problem, that is internal fragmentation. Okay. Because a particular frame can be of size 20 KB and the page may be of 15 KB. So in that frame of size 20 KB, if a page of 15 KB is allocated, means we'll be having the leftover memory. That is 5 KB memory will be left over. That represent internal fragmentation. This paging concept avoids external fragmentation, but still it has internal fragmentation problem. Okay. So how this address is translated, we will be seeing it. That is in this segmentation concept we saw. In this logical address, we'll be having the segment number and the page offset. Likewise, in this paging concept also, the logical address will be having page number and page offset. Okay. It is similar to the segmentation concept. Okay. Here, a process is divided into several pages. See, in this example, we saw the page number. That is, here the process divided into 4 pages. So first we'll be having this page number. The page number can be page 0, like that. See, in that physical memory, where this page 0 is available in the frame 1. This frame 1 is nothing but a segment of memory. It may be of 20 KB. So it may be from 100 to 120. For example, I am saying that page 0 is located in the frame 1, which is of size 100 to 120 KB. Okay. So this particular frame starts from 100 to 120. To access the fourth element in this frame. So fourth element means 100 plus 4, 104. So I have to mention that offset value. Okay. So in this page 0, which portion I am going to access? Will be for every page will be having some location. Here I have considered as 20 KB. Okay. So which part I am going to access? I am going to access the fourth element. So that 104 means that 4 should be represented as offset value. Okay. For that only, here we are having this offset value. This offset value is represented as D and this page number is denoted as P. Okay. Here also we will see the paging hardware architecture. See, it will be similar to the concept of segmentation, but the name will be differing. So you will see it. So from the CPU, the address generated is logical address. The logical address includes page number and offset number. Page number is denoted by P and the offset number is denoted by D. So only from the CPU you can see in this figure P, D in the logical address. Okay, once this page number is found, for example, I am considering here the page number as 1. Here, see in the physical memory, I am having 3 frames. Okay, I am considering it as page number 1. So this page number 1 will be checked into the page table where this 1 is available. So once it found that 1 outside the page table, it will be seeing. Inside the page table, we'll be having the corresponding frame number of this page 1. Okay. So for this page 1, if the frame number is 2, like that I am considering. Okay. So that frame number 2 will be sent to the physical address from the page table. See, that is marked by the arrow. I hope you'll be trying to follow me. The physical address, we are having the page number P and offset D. From that page number P, it is sent to the page table to find where this page table is available. That is in which frame this page is available. All this detail will be available in the page table. So this page P will be checking for the frame. So if we are having a frame 2 that is denoted by F. The frame number is denoted by F. So this frame number F will be sent to the physical address. The offset will be the same. Okay. So here the frame number is 2. The page number is 1 we have considered. So in the second frame the offset value 4 should be allocated. Likewise we have to look into the physical memory. So in that frame 2, okay, we'll be checking the fourth element. Likewise, the fourth element in the physical memory is accessed by using this paging concept. Okay, I'm repeating it again. From the CPU, logical address will be generated. The logical address will be having page number P and offset value D. This page number P will be checking in the page table where this page number P is available. So once this page number P is found, the corresponding frame number F will be sent to the physical address. Only that frame number varies from the page number, but same offset only we are going to use. So the same D in the logical address will be sent to the physical address. Likewise, we have obtained the new physical address. That is here in this case we have considered the frame number is 2 and the offset is 4. So in the second frame, the fourth element will be accessed. Likewise, the particular memory in the physical memory is accessed. Okay. I hope you all will be clear about this concept of paging. So everyone be clear with the terms which you are using in the segmentation and paging. Okay. So here they are saying the logical address will be having page number as well as page offset. This page number will be of m minus n bits. Okay. For denoting the page number and this page offset, all these are lying in the logical address. So this logical address, normally address will be in hexadecimal representation. So this hexadecimal representation can be converted into binary representation. So I am saying in terms of bits. Okay, this page number will be represented in m minus n bits, means then the page offset will be of n bits. Okay, if the page number is m minus n bits, means page offset will be of n bits, and from that we can obtain the logical address space. That is what is the capacity of the logical address. So what is the capacity of the logical memory, means it is 2 power m, and the page size. Here I told we may have different pages. The page will be of some 10 KB or 20 KB. So how that page size of the page is denoted means 2 power m. Okay. So in the address we be having hexadecimal representation. So that hexadecimal number can be converted into binary. Okay, while converting it into binary, so why I am saying this page number will be of this much bits, means for representing 4 pages will be using 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. For that we need page number to be of 2 bits. Okay, we are having 4 pages, then that 4 pages will be represented in binary format as 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. For that we need 2 bits. We can have n number of frames or n number of pages as possible. So for representing n number of pages, we need m minus n bits. The offset will also vary accordingly. That offset will be of n bits. Okay. From that only we can obtain the capacity of logical memory. The logical memory will be of 2 power m. The logical memory capacity will be of 2 power m. The page size is a page length of the page will be 2 power n size. Okay. So this also we'll see in the upcoming slides. So this is how a logical address is converted into physical address in this paging concept. So this is how we'll be having in our memory. In logical memory, we'll be having pages. In physical memory, we'll be having several frames, and the page table will map the logical memory to the physical memory. Okay, clear? See here for this example I have taken using this n and m concept. See, for in this case the n is 2. That is the offset. The number of bits for offset is 2. The m is 4. Okay. M is 4 means the number of bits for denoting the page number is m minus n. Okay. So the number of bits for denoting the page number will be 4 minus 2. So we are having 2 bits for denoting the page number and n bits. That is 2 bits for denoting the offset value. Okay. See, then how we can calculate the logical memory? The size of that logical memory is 2 power m. Okay, the size of that logical memory is 2 power m. That is 16. That is 16. Okay, so 2 power 4 is 16. Then the size of the size of the logical memory is calculated by 2 power m. M is 4. So 2 power 4 is 16 byte logical memory we are having. And the size of the page is 2 power n. N is 4. Sorry, n is 2. So 2 power 2 is 4 byte. So 4 byte is the size of the page. Okay. And 16 byte is the logical memory. See, in this logical memory, 16 byte. So we are having in each byte A, B, C, D. Likewise, we are having in this logical memory 16 byte. So 0 to 15 bytes we are having in this logical memory. See, likewise only the memory will be allocated. So in each one byte of memory, in 0th byte A will be there. In first byte B will be there. Likewise, we are having some data in this logical memory. Then 4 byte pages. See in the physical memory. Okay, in the physical memory, we can see that it is divided into 0 and another is 4, 8, 12, 16. We said that is 4 byte pages. So in the first page, the size is from 0 to 3. Okay. The second page, the size is 4 to 7. The third page, the size is 8 to 11. Likewise, we are having 4 bytes page size. The page size is 4. Okay. So this is how we are representing this N and M in calculation of logical memory as well as page size. Okay. So already we have said we have to keep track of free frames. Then only where to allocate a new frame or new page in a frame, we may be able to do so. Okay. See here in this slide number 9, I have given before allocation and after allocation. So before allocation, we are having this new process. Okay. See in the image provided in the left side, in the new process, we are having 4 page. This from page 0, page 1, page 2, page 3. The new process is having 4 page from 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. For allocating this new process of pages, we need to know what are the free frames in the physical memory. See, in this first part itself, in this before allocation, see, in this physical memory, that ash color shaded region represent a free frame. Okay, so we have to know what are the free frames. So in the free frame list, we'll be having, see, 13, 14, then 18, 20, 15. So all the free frame list will be available first of all to the process. So after seeing that free frame list only, we can accommodate one page to a particular frame. Okay. So with this, for allocating a new process of 4 pages, we need at least 4 free frames in the physical memory. Okay. See in the next after allocation how this 4 pages is allocated in the frame. So in the free frame list, in that order only it will be allocated. See in the free frame list, this before allocation, first the free frame list. That is this list will be generated as how means what are the frames which are first free. For example, the frame 14 will be freed first. After that only this frame 13 may be freed. After that the frame 18 will be freed. After that the frame 20 will be freed. After that the frame 15 will be freed. Likewise, we'll be having the free frame list. So with this list only, we are going to allocate. So this page 0 will be in frame. So this page 0 will be in the first free frame available in the list. So what is the first free frame available in the list is 14. So this page 0 is allocated to the first free frame 14. So this page 0, see after allocation in that page 0, in that frame number 14 only we are having this page 0. And this next page 1 will be allocated to the next element in the free frame list, that is first page is allocated to frame number 13. Next, the second frame is allocated to, second page is allocated to frame number 18. I am repeating again. So, first page 0 is allocated to first frame in the free frame list. which is 14. Next, page 1 is allocated to second free frame in the list, that is 13. Page 2 is allocated to 18. Page 3 is allocated to 20. Likewise, we have allocated the new process of 4 pages into the physical memory. Okay, that new process will be in logical memory. Okay, so after allocating in the free frame list, we are having one free frame, that is frame 15. Okay, likewise, we'll be keeping a track of all the free frames in the physical memory. So that only new process, if it comes with some pages, it can be allocated in the memory. Next we'll see how we are going to implement this page table. So similar to this logical memory, physical memory, all are lying the memory. Likewise, this page table is also kept in the memory. So in the segmentation concept, we saw segmentation table based register. Likewise, here also we are seeing page table based register. So this page table based register holds the address location of the page table. So page table எங்க மெமரியில இருக்கு நமக்கு தெரியணுமா, அந்த பேஜ் டேபிளோட அட்ரஸ் லொகேஷன் எந்த ரெஜிஸ்டர்ல ஸ்டோர் பண்றோம், page table base register stores the address location of the page table. So this page table will have a particular length. 4 pages irundhuna, the length of the page table will be 4. Okay, so adula the length determine பண்றதுக்கு we are having another one register, page table length register. So this PTLR is the page table length register. It indicates the size of the page table. That is how many pages we are having in the page table is indicated by this register PTLR. Okay, see here in this paging concept, for a page in the logical memory, we have to look into the page table and then only from the page table the particular frame. For example, the page 0 is available in 14th frame in So this page table is available in 14th frame means we'll be looking like that. So we need to check the page table and then go to the physical memory. Likewise, we need two memory access. There's one memory access from memory access means read or write. Okay, we have to read the corresponding page table content first, and then after looking the frame number, we'll be going to the physical memory. Okay, there involves two memory access. So to avoid that, we are having to solve this two memory access means there will be some delay in accessing the data in the physical memory. Okay, so to solve this problem, we are using a special fast lookup hardware cache memory. Okay, this is a hardware. Okay, we are using a special fast lookup hardware cache memory known as associative memory or translation look-aside buffer. We are using associative memory or translation look-aside buffer. See, using this translation look-aside buffer, we'll be having a address space identifiers, that is ASID. In this translation look-aside buffer, we'll be having address space identifier, and this address space identifier uniquely identifies each process to provide the address space protection for that process. So for each and every process, we'll be having a particular or unique address space identifier in the translation look-aside buffer or TLB. Okay, so for each process, we'll be having address space identifiers. This address space identifier will be in TLB. Okay, so this TLB will have several entries. That is for each and every process, we'll be having this address space identifiers. For each and every process, we'll be having address space identifier in the TLB. So the entry, number of entries in the TLB may be from 64 to 1024. Okay. We'll see this address space identifier more detail with the help of that block diagram and all. See, like this only we'll be having the figure provided in the slide number 12. For that associative memory, we'll be going for this parallel search. Here the logical address in paging concept includes the page number P and D. See how with this translation look-aside buffer or associative memory or TLB, we are converting the logical address into physical memory. We can see with this diagram provided in the slide number 13. So see here in the slide number 13, from the CPU, so from the CPU, a logical address is generated. The logical address includes page number P and offset D. Okay. See, from the CPU, we are having a block of logical address containing P and D. So once this page number is found means, so in the previous case, we looked into the page table. Here we are using translation look aside buffer. Okay. TLB. So in the TLB, we'll be checking. This TLB also holds the corresponding page number and the frame number. So for this page will be available in which frame in the physical memory. All those detail will be available in the TLB. Okay. So for example, if page 3 we are having, page 3 means this TLB, it will be searching for 3. So where this 3 found, the corresponding frame number will be sent into the physical address. Okay. So once this particular page number is found in the TLB, we are saying it as TLB hit. TLB hit na enna, so the page number TLB la available irukuna adala enna solrom TLB hit. It is available. So நம்ம page 3 நம்ம search பண்றோம். The page 3 and the page 3 oda frame number available in the TLB means it is said as TLB hit. Okay, அதான் அந்த லைன்ல TLB hit ன்னு மார்க் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. So as soon as we see this TLB hit, the corresponding frame number F will be sent to the physical address and will be having the same offset D from the logical address to the physical address. Okay, the same offset number from the logical address, this D will be sent to the physical address. Okay, suppose if this page, see, likewise, this physical address includes F and D. That is the frame number. So in a particular frame, for this page number 3, if the frame is 4 means, so in that frame 4, the offset may be 5. The fifth element will be accessed. Likewise, we are converting this logical address into physical address using TLB. Suppose we said this TLB is a part of memory which includes page number and frame number. Suppose if a particular page of a process is not in the physical memory, அதாவது ஒரு ப்ராசஸ்க்கு n number of frames சொல்லியிருக்கோம். ஸோ ஒரு 10 pages இருக்கு ஒரு ப்ராசஸ்க்கு. அந்த 10 pageல கொஞ்சம் பேஜ் தான் எதுல இருக்கு, பிசிக்கல் மெமரியில இருக்கு. கொஞ்சம் பேஜ் எங்க இல்ல, பிசிக்கல் மெமரியில இல்ல. அப்போ இந்த டிஎல்பிலையும் இருக்காது. ஓகே, சோ டிஎல்பில வந்து நம்ம என்ன பாக்குறோம், செலக்டிவா we are having only some pages and its corresponding frame number. Okay, so TLB miss means if the particular page number in the logical address, for example another page number, say page number 8 we are having in the physical address, means if this page number 8 is not available in the TLB means it is known as TLB miss. The particular page number 8 is not available in TLB means it is TLB miss. So this TLB is missed means, so from the page table this frame number F is sent to the physical address. That is, the page number 8 doesn't have the page number and the corresponding frame number in the TLB. In that case, this TLB miss condition will occur. TLB miss means and the page number and the frame number எதுல இல்ல, TLB ல இல்ல. So TLB ல இல்லனா we are having TLB miss. So TLB la miss ஆயிட்டு அப்ப எங்க இருந்து நம்ம அந்த frame number எடுத்து physical addressல கொடுப்போம் from the page table. So now we'll be obtaining the particular frame number from the page table and we'll be giving it to the physical address. Okay. So thus we are using this TLB architecture in this paging mechanism. Okay. So for this, we are having some memory protection. Memory protection means a particular process should access the memory of that process only. No other process can't access it process. For that, we are having a bit known as valid or invalid bit. So this valid or invalid bit is attached to each entry in the page table. So each element in the page table will has a valid or invalid bit. So this valid, if it is valid means it indicates that the page, that the associated page is in the process logical address space and it will be legal. If it is invalid means it indicates that the page is not in the process logical address space. That is, நம்ம ஒரு ஜெனரேட் பண்ற லாஜிக்கல் அட்ரஸ்ல உள்ள பேஜ் நம்பர் இருக்கா, அந்த பேஜ் நம்பர் அந்த ப்ராசஸ்ல இருந்ததுன்னா, for example, for a particular process, say P1, I'm having 5 pages. 5 பேஜ் தான் இருக்கு. அந்த 5 பேஜ்ல இல்லாத ஒரு பேஜ் நான் சொன்னேன்னா அது invalid. Okay. Also we can use this page table register. So page table length registerல என்ன இருக்கும்? The size of the page table. So 5 processல 5 pages இருந்ததுன்னா page table register content என்ன இருக்கும்? Page table length register ஓட content PTLR ஓட content என்ன இருக்கும்? 5 னு இருக்கும். So நம்ம generate பண்ற page 3 இருந்ததுன்னா 3 is less than 5. So it is the page which belongs to that particular process. If it is 6 means இருக்கிற page 5 தான், ஆனா generate பண்ற new page வந்து 6 னா we don't have such 6th page in this process P1. So it is invalid. Then a trap will be generated. Okay. See this slide number 15. See the slide number 15. Here in the logical memory we are having some 5 pages, so 6 pages from page 0 to page 5, and in the page table we are having some page table. In the page table we are having the corresponding frame number of the particular pages, and also we are having a frame number, and it is accommodated with the new column, that is valid or invalid bit. See in this case, in this logical memory we are having a process with 6 pages, but in the page table we are having 8 locations from 0 to 7, thus we are having 8 locations. Okay. So in the process க்கு நம்ம 6th page கிடையாது, இப்படிதானே? So அப்ப page table ல அதான் 6 பக்கத்துல என்ன இருக்கு? 0 னு இருக்கு, and it is I, marked by I. I னு மார்க் பண்ணா it is invalid because in the process க்கு இருக்கிறதே 6 pages தான். Okay, that is 0, page 0 ல இருந்து page 5 வரைக்கும். அப்ப page 6 னு ஒண்ணு இந்த ப்ராசஸ்க்கு இல்லவே இல்ல. சோ அதனால தான் அங்க frame number 0 னு என்டர் பண்ணிட்டு bit to என்ன bit செட் பண்ணிருக்கோம்? invalid bit. அதே மாதிரி 7th page இல்ல, சோ அதனால frame number 0 னு என்டர் பண்ணிட்டு bitலயே invalid bit. சோ மத்த frame எல்லாம் பாருங்க. So we are having page 0 to page 5. So page 0 to page 5 இந்த page table ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா அதுல வந்து என்ன இருக்கு? Frame numbers. So corresponding frame number for the page 0 to page 5 we are having in the page table, as well as the bit near it is V, denotes valid bit, that this page belongs to that particular process. Okay. See in the physical memory we are having that pages in the corresponding frames denoted by the page table. So for this purpose only we are using valid or invalid bit. So process ல எத்தனை pages இருக்கோ அத்தனை pages தான் நம்ம என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? frame allocate பண்ண முடியும். இல்லாத pages ஏதாவது access பண்ண ட்ரை பண்ணோம்னா இது வந்து invalid ன்னு generate ஆகும். So it leads to a trap generation. So next we will see about shared pages. So pages nu பார்த்தோமா. So pages na என்னது? Set of instructions in a memory. This is a segment of or part of memory தான் நம்ம pages னு சொல்றோம். So இங்க என்ன பார்க்கறோம்னா shared pagesல for example, so this we will see with an example in this slide number 17 itself. So example வச்சு சொன்னா you will be understanding it more clearly, I think so. See here, the slide number 17. See at the top left side. See here, we that blue color box we are having process P1. That is for the process P1, we are having 4 pages. That 4 pages, this ED generally denotes this editor. Okay, here this ED is denoted for editor 1, editor 2, editor 3, and some data is available. Okay, see in this process P1, which is denoted by this blue color, has a corresponding page table. So for each and every process, we'll be having a page table because one process only is divided into several pages and it is available in the physical memory. Okay, for each process, we'll be having a page table. Okay, ஒவ்வொரு ப்ராசஸ்க்கும் ஒவ்வொரு page table இருக்கும். See that white color box represent process P2. So in that process P2 also we are having the same ED1, ED2, ED3, the same data, and the data 2 only is differing. And below that ash color shaded region, see below on the left side we are having process 3. The process 3 also holds the ED1, ED2, ED3, and this data 3 is different here, and the corresponding page table for the process 3 is given. See in the 3 process P1, P2, P3, we are having 3 pages common for all these 3 process. That is ED1, ED2, ED3 is common for the 3 process P1, P2 and P3. Okay. So these common pages shared by these process is known as shared pages. The common pages shared by the process is known as shared pages. Okay. So these shared pages will have the same frame number. See in the page table, you can see for this ED1, ED2, ED3, for process P1, P2, P3, the page table number is same. See 3, 4, 6. Because it is sharing the pages, so we can have the same frame number itself in the physical memory. Okay. So for these shared pages, we'll be having the same frame number in the page table of the different process. Okay. See in the physical memory shown in the right side, you can see the frame number 3, 4, 6. In that location, we are having ED1, ED2, ED3 shared pages. So like this, shared pages will be in the memory. Okay, this is shared pages. The shared pages or the shared code will be what will be the shared code means it will be a copy of read only code which is shared among the process. For example, 3 process will be using the text editors. The same text editors will be used by 3 process. So in this case, this ED1, ED2, ED3 is the text editor process. Okay, the pages in the text editors only represented, as well as several process may use same compilers. Likewise, the same read only code which is used by these process only comes under this shared code or shared pages. It is useful for inter-process communication. So inter-process communication means in the cooperating process, there is a process with sharing resource. For communicating, the shared pages or the shared code will be useful. This private code and private data means each process will keep a separate copy of code and data. That is in the same example we saw, no? Here we saw shared pages. The same case also we may see the private data. See what is the private data? The data 1 in the process P1, data 2 in the process P2, data 3 in the process P3 is the private data or private code. See? So these private data is kept in the separate code. See this data 1 in the process P1 is in the frame number 1. See for the process P2, the data 2 is available in the frame number 7. The data 3 is available in the frame number 2. See, this is the private code or data. It is available in different frames in the physical memory. So shared pages will occupy the same frame number. Private code or data will occupy the different frame number in the physical memory. Okay. Next we'll see the structure of page table. So here, for example, I am saying we are using a 32-bit logical address space. So this bit means 32-bit logical address space. So the logical address generated is of 32-bit. I am considering an example 32-bit logical address space. In that, I have considered 12 bits for offset value and 20 bits for representing the page number. Okay. In this 32-bit logical address, I am considering 12-bit for denoting the offset value, that is n, and 20-bit for denoting the and the remaining bit is 20, that is for representing the page number. Okay. Likewise, I am considering here, I said 12-bit for offset, that is the value n. Okay. So this n denotes the number of offset bits. So how will determine page size from the number of offset bits? N. 2 power n is page size. So the page size is determined by 2 power 12. So 2 power 12 means already in the first unit itself we saw 2 power 10 means it is 1 kilobyte. 2 power 10 bytes means 1 kilobyte. 2 power 10 into 2 power 2 is equal to 2 power 12. So 2 power 2 means 4. So 4 kilobytes is the size of the page. Then this page table entry if you see means, see 32-bit logical address space we are having. The space of that logical address. The logical memory is of size 2 power 32. This logical memory only divided into pages. Okay. This each page is of how many size? 4 KB. That is 2 power 12. நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம் 2 power 32 whole memory ல 2 power 12 size ஓட pages நம்ம place பண்ணோம்னா will be having 1 million entries. That is 2 power 12 divided by 2 power 32 will gives 1 million entries will be possible in the page table. So the size of this page table will be large. Okay, there is amount of number of element in the page table will be 1 million. Then we need a large amount of memory for the page table itself. Okay, so for occupying this page table will consume 2 power 12 divided by, that is 2 power 32 divided by 2 power 12. In a whole memory 2 power 13 நம்ம சொல்றோம். அதுல we are having pages. அந்த ஒவ்வொரு pages ஓட size வந்து என்னது 2 power 12. For example, ஒரு square இருக்கு, square feet area, it is of 100 square feetல இருக்கு. அந்த 100 square feetல நீங்க 10 square feetல ஒவ்வொரு tiles place பண்றீங்க. 100 square feetல ஒரு ஏரியா இருக்கு. So அந்த 100 square feet ஏரியால small tiles of 10 square feetல ஒரு small tiles place பண்ண போறீங்க. அது எப்படி place பண்ணுவீங்க? எத்தனை tiles வேணும்னு எப்படி count பண்ணுவீங்க? 10 square feetல நான் tiles place பண்ண போறேன். Total area என்னது 100 square feet. அப்ப நான் எப்படி find பண்ணுவேன்? 100 divided by 10 gives the number of tiles required for placing. எவ்வளவு tiles நான் அந்த 100 square feetல நான் பிளேஸ் பண்ண போறேன்னு எப்படி கண்டுபிடிப்பேன்? ஒவ்வொரு டைல்ஸோட சைஸ் வந்து என்ன சொல்லிட்டேன்? 10 ஸ்கொயர் ஃபீட். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் தான் சொல்லியிருக்கேன். ஓகே, ஸோ அதை நீங்க ப்ராக்டிக்கலா திங்க் பண்ணாதீங்க, ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் தான் சொல்றேன். ஒரு 100 ஸ்கொயர் ஃபீட்ல ஒரு ஏரியா இருக்கு. அந்த 100 ஸ்கொயர் ஃபீட்ல உள்ள ஏரியால நான் டைல்ஸை பிளேஸ் பண்ண போறேன். அந்த டைல்ஸ் ஒவ்வொரு டைல்ஸோட சைஸ் எப்படி இருக்குன்னா 10 ஸ்கொயர் ஃபீட்டா இருக்கு. அப்போ எனக்கு எத்தனை ஸ்கொயர் ஃபீட், எத்தனை டைல்ஸ் தேவை அப்படி நான் கேட்டேன்னா என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? அந்த ஹோல் ஏரியா வந்து என்னது 100 square feet. So 100 square feet divided by ஒவ்வொரு டைல்ஸ் ஓட சைஸ் வந்து என்னது 10 square feet. So 100 by 10 is equal to 10. அப்ப எனக்கு அங்க 10 டைல்ஸ் தேவை அப்படி சொல்றீங்களா? அதே மாதிரியே தான் இங்க ஹோல் மெமரி வந்து எவ்வளோ 2 power 32 ஹோல் மெமரி. அதுல ஒவ்வொரு பேஜஸோட சைஸ் வந்து என்னது 2 power 12. ஓகேவா? சோ நான் எப்படி கண்டுபிடிக்கிறேன் 2 power 32 by 2 power 12. சோ அப்படி நான் போட்டேனா I will have 2 power some value that is 4 megabyte. Okay. Okay, புரியுதா? 2 power 32 by 2 power 12 which gives 2 power 20, that is 4 megabyte physical address I need for this page table. So 4 MB நான் page table க்கு மட்டுமே கொடுத்தேனா அப்ப பேஜிங் வந்து என்னது எனக்கு ரொம்ப மெமரி கன்சியூம் பண்ணுது நான் சொல்லுவேன். Okay, to avoid that, so large amount of memory will be required for that particular page table itself. Page table க்கு மட்டுமே இவ்வளவு மெமரினா நான் physical memoryக்கு பாப்பனா page table க்கு இவ்வளவு மெமரி யூஸ் பண்ணுவானா? So it is somewhat waste of memory using the concept. So that thinking will come into my mind. So some amount of memory is wasted. Like that I will be thinking that memory itself is a continuous memory. Page table எப்படி இருக்கும் ஒரு continuous memory-ஆ தான் இருக்கணும். So அப்போ இங்க 4 MB continuous memory எனக்கு தேவைப்படுது. அப்ப நான் அதை பேஸ் பண்றேன் page table-ல. So அதனால இந்த simple paging-ல இருந்து I am going for some types of paging, that is hierarchical paging or hashed page tables or inverted page table. Okay, to overcome this disadvantage, that is page table மட்டுமே எனக்கு அதிகமான மெமரியை கன்சியூம் பண்ணுது, அது கண்டினியூஸா எனக்கு 4 MB ஸ்பேஸ் தேவை அப்பனா it is a somewhat overhead to the operating system. So only there is some changes in the structure of page table, and thus we are having hierarchical paging, hashed page table and inverted page table. Okay, so we'll see one by one. Hierarchical page table. Hierarchical page table means this page table will be broken into different levels. See here, I'm showing a type of hierarchical page table. In hierarchical page table, we may have 2-level page table or 3-level page table or 4-level page table. Likewise, we'll be having in hierarchical paging. So here in this slide number 20, I have provided an example of 2-level page table. So already we have seen with the one page table. ஒரே ஒரு page table வரைக்கும் தான் நம்ம இது வரைக்கும் பார்த்திருக்கோம். So ஒரே ஒரு page table னா எப்படி இருக்கும்? To see in this example, so ஒரே ஒரு page table தான் இருக்கு நம்மளுக்கு. The page 0ல page table பார்த்தோம்னா frame number, page 0ோட frame number available இருக்கும் page tableல. அதே மாதிரி page 1ோட frame number available இருக்கும். So it is single page table which we have seen previously. Now I am going to say about 2-level paging. So in 2-level paging, we are having an outer table, outer page table and also another one page table. See here, similar to your page table. See this outer page table. So in this outer page table, I will be having, so in the page order number in the frame la irukradhu நம்ம வந்து previous single page table பார்த்தோம். இந்த outer page table என்ன இருக்கும்னா இந்த page, suppose page 0 வந்து இந்த inner page table ல எங்க இருக்கு அந்த மாதிரி locations இருக்கும். So we'll be having an outer page table. So இந்த outer page table ல page 0 வந்து இங்க பாருங்க inner page table எப்படி இருக்கு, அந்த page table குள்ளேயே we are having several pages. There is 1 to 500 is one page, and after that 500 to 100 may be another page, and 100 to 708 is another page, and between that we'll be having another page, and 929 to 900 is another page. Likewise, ஒரு page table குள்ளேயே நமக்கு நிறைய several page table இருக்கு. Okay, so அப்ப outer page table என்ன இருக்கும்னா the page 0 வந்து எந்த page table ல இருக்கு, inner page table ல. So page 1 ல table ல இருக்கு அப்பனா page table உள்ள page 1 ல இருக்கு. So அப்போ So I am seeing the first diagram. So anga 1 இருக்கு. So this 1 represents the frame number 1. Likewise, I'm having two level mapping. That is two level page table I'm having. So why this two level paging is important or இது எதுக்கு தேவை? Likewise, we will see with an example. For example, I'm taking a 32-bit logical address space. So in the 32-bit logical address space, we can have 12-bit page number and 10-bit offset. Okay. எப்போ டூ லெவல் பேஜிங் யூஸ் பண்ணோம்னா டூ லெவல் பேஜிங் இல்லைன்னா என்ன பண்ணுவோம் இந்த 32 பிட்ல பேஜ் நம்பர் எப்படி இருக்கும் 22 பிட் வந்து ஃபார் பேஜ் நம்பர் அண்ட் ஆஃப்செட்டுக்கே 10 பிட் ஸோ பேஜ் நம்பருக்கே 22 பிட்ஸ் ஓகே பேஜ் நம்பருக்கே 22 பிட்ஸ்னா நீங்க 2 power 22 மெமரி ஸ்பேஸ் will be utilized for this page table. So இந்த 22 பிட் அதிகமா இருக்குதா so இப்ப நம்ம பேஜ் சைஸ் எப்படி பாப்போம் will be determined the page size 2 power n that is 2 power 10 and logical space so இதெல்லாம் நீங்க calculate பண்ணீங்கன்னா இந்த கேஸ் 22 bits for page number and offset க்கு 10 bits அந்த கேஸ்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு பேஜ் டேபிளோட சைஸ் ரொம்ப அதிகமா இருக்கும் அதனால என்ன பண்றோம்னா இந்த பேஜ் நம்பர் 22 bits பேஜ் நம்பரே ரெண்டா டிவைட் பண்றோம் so that first one represent 12 bit page number and 10 bit page offset okay the 22 bit page number 12 bit page number and 10 bit page offset divide பண்றோம் so அப்படி divide பண்ணோம்னா எப்படி இருக்கும்னா இந்த previous example இந்த slide number 20 நான் பார்க்கறேன் so அப்போ அந்த first 12 bit page number இருக்கா the first page 12 bit page number will denote the page number in the outer page table and the next 10 bit page number will denote the page number in the inner page table and that offset value represents the offset value in the physical memory okay so அப்ப என்ன பண்றோம் ஒரு கண்டினியூஸா நமக்கு ஒரு large page table தேவையில்லாம we are breaking that long table into two tables outer page table and inner page table புரியுதா so நம்ம என்ன பார்த்தோம் 22 bits page number இருந்ததுன்னா நம்மளோட மெமரி வந்து பேஜ் டேபிளுக்கே ரொம்ப அதிகமா கன்சியூம் ஆகும் so அதனால we are breaking this page table outer page table and inner page table so அப்படி break பண்ணும்போது we don't need continuously large amount of memory space புரியுதா so for that only we are using this two level paging next see this two level paging will be denoted like this in the slide provided in 22 so logical address space will be having p1 p2 d this p1 is denotes the page number in outer page table p2 denotes the page number in inner page table and d denotes the offset see from this p1 it goes to the outer page table the outer page table போய் inner page table ல இது எந்த page number னு போகும் so likewise we'll be obtaining this p2 and the p2 ல இருந்து அதோட frame number என்னன்னு கண்டுபிடிச்சி it will be going to the physical memory and in the physical memory in that particular frame number we will add this offset and we'll be obtaining this is in case of two level paging we'll be also using three level paging if the address logical address goes beyond so in 32 bit logical address itself we saw two level paging for 64 bit logical address space we'll be using three level paging see if we are using this two level paging means என்ன பண்ணோம் two level paging ல 64 bits ல வந்து 12 bits will be using for offset and 10 bits will be using for inner page and 42 bits for outer page அப்போ 42 bits outer page க்கு தேவைனா we need 2 power 42 entries so the page table will be of large size so again we are splitting this 42 into 2 okay see that is in the slide number 24 I have provided for the same 64 bit address space with the two level logic two level paging means the figure shown above two level paging irundhuna offset value will be 12 and the inner page table will be represented by 10 bits and the outer page table will be represented by 42 bits so this 42 is very large size so only we are going for three level paging in this three level paging this 42 bit outer page table is again divided into second outer page table likewise we have splitted into 32 bit second outer page table p1 and 10-bit outer page table P2 and 10-bit inner page table P3 and 12-bit offset. Okay. Likewise, if the number of bits in the logic address goes larger, we'll be using 2-level paging or 3-level paging scheme. Okay. So with this, we'll see in the next class we will see the hashed pages and inverted pages. So we will have a quick recap of what we have seen in this today's class. In today's class, we have seen about segmentation. So in segmentation, we are using two tuple, that is segment number and offset. So using this only, we'll be obtaining our physical memory from the logical memory using this segment table. Next, we saw about paging concept. In paging, the logical memory is divided into pages and the physical memory is divided into frames. And here also we are having the page number. So we saw about the paging hardware architecture and how this page table, this logic memory and physical memory will be there, the number of bits, and how we can find this free frame list and how we can allocate the pages of a new process in this free frame. We saw about this page table base register, page table length register, and to avoid to memory access, we have used translation look aside buffer or associated memory. It is also known as TLB. And then we saw about the implementation of page table using this TLB, the architecture. Then for a memory protection, we saw we are having a valid bit or invalid bit to say whether that particular page belong to that process or not. Then we saw about shared pages and private code and data. Shared pages will share the common frame number in the physical memory. Private code and data will have the different frame number in the physical memory. Then we saw the structure of page table. That is, if you're having more number of entries, then there is a if the logical address space bit number of bits in the logical address is high, means we'll be having a large size page table. So a large continuous memory location will be required for the page table itself. So to avoid that, we are going for hierarchical paging. So using this hierarchical paging, we can have 2-level paging or 3-level paging, or like that we can have 4-level paging also. So using this, we can split this page table, that is a continuous large memory of this page table into 2 or more page tables, so that we'll be having some non-continuous page table. It is inner page table, outer page table, or outer page table 2. Like this, we will be having in 3 level paging scheme and all. So all these we have seen in today's class.